So, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of my YouTube Live with Sarah Yunus. So, today we are diving into a world where innovation meets education. I'm thrilled to be joined by a trailblazing woman who is nurturing the tech leaders of tomorrow through her platform, TechBots Academy. So, with a passion for coding, robotics, and the future focused learning, she is transforming how children and young learners engage with technology. So, let's welcome the incredible mind behind TechBots Academy, Soumya Gupta. Hi, Soumya. Welcome to my channel, Sarah
Hi,
Yunus.
thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. So, it's really inspiring to know about your journey, and it's a very good thing because technology and I think this is the future of tomorrow. So let's start with your journey. What inspired you to start this TechBots in academy, and how did it begin?
Basically, this is the time when I was still working as a software engineer. Okay,
Okay.
and I had sent my son to one of these classes,
Hmm.
robotics classes, and
Okay.
there they were dictating code,
Okay.
just to get the output.
Hmm.
And then that was something it really struck me that this is not the way I want my child to be taught.
Okay.
That's how actually it was there. And then eventually I also had to happen to take a break from my software career, the corporate world, because of some other reasons. And
Okay.
I started thinking about skilling myself in AI and ML, because that is where, if at all I want to join back, then that would definitely be more useful for me. Then I started. I actually took up a course, online course, and that was on Udemy. And I went for the IIT Bangalore. They conducted the AI ML course, and I went for that, and I
Okay.
started skilling myself with respect to that. And eventually, later on, I decided that I want to do something independently. During this whole
Right.
thing, I had thoughts of doing something independently. And then, because that is basically because I started noticing that the job descriptions are changing,
Hmm. True.
and yeah, throughout the world, and we are in the middle of a industrial revolution, to be
Yes.
honest.
Yeah.
Like every industrial revolution, we humans have to acquire new skills.
Right.
But the thing with AI is that it is hitting all industries.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Now I think everything we are so depending on AI. Now, like without AI, we are nothing now. It's all
It
so much
wears
trapped us.
back, and sometimes we don't even notice that. It's like, for example, I'll tell you, we have sometimes we spend, some unusual pattern. Like, for example, let's say our usual pattern is going on, and then let's say we pay the fees of our children or something,
Hmm.
which is actually an unusual because it's a bulk amount. It's not the regular
Yeah.
amount. We get a call saying that this doesn't seem to be a usual transaction. Is this you who has approved it? If yes,
Correct.
who is doing it? It's actually AI.
AI.
It's in fact that is actually data science which is kicking in the background, right?
Absolutely.
Then if you actually see the automotive industry, we have self-driving cars. Yeah, we don't see them
Yeah.
often in India, but in other countries and all, it's a reality. The
Absolutely.
self-driving in the US, we have self-driving trucks and everything. There you can see that they, in fact, computer vision and so
Hmm.
many AI technologies are used. And in fact,
Absolutely.
even Google Maps, we are so used to looking at our mobile. But if
Yes.
you wear an augmented reality glass, it will actually give the locations not only about the map, but also where you are. It will point out the location details.
True.
Then in
But don't you
medical,
think? I think we are also losing that charm, na? Of course, AI is making it little easier for us, but actually that real charm is also gone. So like when we wanted to drive somewhere and go, we used to call our friends, or we used to call that person's house where it is, okay, which shop is near your place, or which lake is near your place, or which park. It was so I think little different experience which we don't know, because now when we are driving the car, we are least bothered to see anything except our mobile.
True. In fact, AI and every industrial revolution brings along with it its own challenges. Okay.
Correct.
And in fact, even if you talk about the first industrial revolution that we had, manufacturing, that also
Hmm.
brought along the challenges. Challenges were different, but then every industrial revolution brings about different challenges. And like it's
Absolutely.
about how we cope up with those challenges is something that
Hmm.
like it is it is to individuals. Like we have to learn how to cope up with these things because all said and done, like
Hmm.
we are going to get outdated if we don't like if we have to survive, we have to
Yeah.
it, right? Like for example, if you say that if you were in back in the manufacturing time, when that industrial revolution happened, and say that no, I want it is so nice that I'm going to create by hand. It is fantastic actually to create it by hand and not with this one.
Yeah.
Everybody would just to take that approach that I will create only things by hand and not use the manufacturing technology. Then they would actually the world moves ahead. They would just
Hmm.
stay behind. Like
Yes.
yes, it brings in AI
You have
brings
to
a
work with
lot
the technology now. You have to work with the technology. You can't
of
avoid this, or you cannot say that I don't want this. You have to
yes,
now adapt for this. It's become like
we
a
have to
mandatory,
adapt. And you're
Yes.
absolutely right. It brings about EQ challenges. It is there,
Hmm.
and
Yes.
that again is going to be somebody else's this one. Like they might come up with how they're going to conduct workshops, or in fact how to cope up with these things, and it'll open up different job descriptions. It is not that jobs are going to
Correct.
go up. It is just that it's going to be different, and we will have to adjust to that new lifestyle and cope up with things.
Right.
Because at the end of
But
the day,
Soumya, we see a lot of news. Sorry to interrupt. When you said about jobs, no, sorry to interrupt. I don't know. When I keep browsing the Insta or Facebook, now I see a lot of posts coming up that by so and so year, people are going to lose their jobs because of AI coming in. I don't know. I'm not able to,
you're not able to
just
relate
I
to it.
agree with this. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not able
you
to
know
digest
that,
this.
it might be difficult to digest, but I'll tell you a reality.
Yeah.
In the US, in the Bay Area, uh,
Hmm.
you'll be surprised if I tell you that 90% of the code is being written by AI.
Okay.
The new startups, they're not hiring
Hmm.
humans. They're using AI to write code.
Okay.
So gone are those days when we wanted to learn
Hmm.
the syntax. I know
Yeah.
Java. I'll get a
Hmm.
job. Gone are those days.
Absolutely. It's a little scary, na? Like a new alien coming in our life.
And in fact, and that is why it is so important that, like, in fact, we really understand the things of today. See, just because there is one aspect which is scary does not mean that there's no opportunity. See, if you want, like, for
Absolutely.
example, let's say you are a creative person, and like, in
Mm-hmm.
fact, if you're good at 3D modeling, then, do you know that even your people can get their bones printed in titanium, and today that is being used as implants.
Mm-hmm.
So there
Okay.
can be work for everybody. It is just your work is going to
Mm.
be different than what you are used to.
Used to now. Correct. Of course, it's not just for someone to use the AI. Also, they need someone, right, to give that prompt, to put that command, or to tell AI that what we actually need. Now, I
It
don't
is
know. Maybe in the
not
future,
a
AI will
future.
start reading our mind also, and then you don't need someone to
It is
sit and
not a
type
future.
also.
To be honest, it's not a future. In fact, neurosciences is there. Like, in fact, where
Mm.
your brain cells, like, it's able to read that symbol and trying to find out what you're thinking and
Mm.
act accordingly.
Correct. But then
That is
it will still take little more time for every individual to get this
definitely.
incorporated in their association. But till then, let's have people working with the, helping with the AI codes or whatever AI applications which companies are giving them to use it for getting their
Problem
work
is,
done.
like the problem is that AI is not the future. AI is already here.
Already here. That's
It's
true.
already there. Okay. And the thing is, are we ready for it?
Yeah. That's the
The,
question.
that's the question. And there's a huge gap in the education
Hmm.
system, especially in India, in
Hmm.
what are the skills required by the job market and the skills that our students are getting.
Hmm.
This is not, I'm not just saying it. If you actually look up the statistics, you will see
Mm-hmm.
that in India, where the population is surpassing about 1.44 billion in 2023, the youth
Mm.
unemployment was very huge.
Yeah.
If you actually check 2022 statistics, you'll see that youth unemployment crisis is there.
Yes.
18.4% is there for those who have done secondary education, and
Mm-hmm.
29.1% for graduates.
Oh, okay.
So
It's
this is not
huge.
even illiterate individuals, right? So
Yeah.
what is wrong? Something is There is a gap, right? That
There's
our
a gap.
education,
Yeah, there's a gap.
and that is what where I thought that, in fact, TechBots Academy has to kind of bridge in. So
Right.
the robotics is only the beginning for TechBots. The
Yeah.
journey is leads to AI. So my vision
Right.
that robotics is only
So
the beginning. Yeah.
what age group do you primarily work with, and what kind of tech skills do you focus in your academy?
So that's a very interesting thing, right?
Yeah.
I I want to work with kids who are 10 plus.
10 class. Okay.
You might be surprised, but then giving them an exposure at that level, at that initial state, is important, because by the time they grow up and they
Mm-hmm.
want to nurture ideas, or start do startups. If you actually
Mm.
see, in fact, this the screen, the startup thing, this is actually given by our government of India. Okay,
Okay.
this is
Mm-hmm.
our reality check, that today our people are thinking only about food delivery apps, and then
Yeah.
making fancy ice creams, and then instant grocery delivery. These are what our startup ideas are. So why they're not able to think differently is because we've always been. It's not that we don't have bright minds. We have the brightest of the minds in the world.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
It is just that
But we're
you
not
know
using it at the right place.
we don't get the right exposure at the
Mm.
right time. So as a child, if I give you an exposure that these are the things which are possible, if I,
Mm-hmm.
to begin with, I'll tell you, electricity is everywhere. Your
Yeah.
brain is powered by electricity. Every time you
Mm.
actually think, blink, and even move, tiny electrical signals actually go through your neurons to control your body.
Mm.
So electronics is not just about flipping a switch, right? So there's
Right.
a lot more to it. And if you actually start with that, give real world analogies to our kids, they will also open up and able to explore and do things which are beyond fancy ice creams. Because
Yeah.
when they grow up itself, they have an idea that this is all possible, this is happening in the world.
True.
That exposure is so important. And if you, I'll give you, children surprise me a lot. In fact,
Mm-hmm.
in the way, when they actually come up with an innovative idea, when we discuss things with them, they surprise me with their answers. So,
Okay.
honest, we have the bright minds. They need the
Mm-hmm.
right guidance. And if you give them the right guidance at the right age, by the time they
Mm.
grow up, they're going to be ready to come up with something which is going to make a difference, rather than just something that's going to make money today. But we are not thinking about tomorrow. That
Yeah.
shouldn't be the case. We should actually, like I told you, that unemployment rate for the graduates is so much. So we
Yeah.
should actually give them skill sets that is going to get them jobs. We should not try to get them ready to a job which will not exist tomorrow.
Absolutely. Upskill
So
is really important.
yeah, the skill, absolutely, that is so important. And in fact, and for that, for targeting that young age, I thought that I
Mm.
have to keep things interesting. It's not going to be easy for me to say that, okay, voice recognition or image processing to a kid, and they will not like it. So
Right.
I'm using robotics as a tool
Mm.
to teach other concepts.
Okay.
So
That's
robotics is not
interesting.
my end goal, it is just the beginning. And my end
Mm-hmm.
goal is AI. My
Mm-hmm.
journey leads to AI.
Yeah. So this is a world, I think there are many educator related platforms. So what sets TechBots Academy apart from the rest? What is the USP of TechBots Academy?
See, I think there are coding platforms,
Yeah.
but in TechBots we talk about concept before code. Okay.
Okay.
Unlike most coding platforms which focus on syntax, we
Mm-hmm.
emphasize on things, if it works, why it worked, and if it did not
Mm-hmm.
work, why it did not work, and then
Got it.
how you can actually make it different. And like in
Mm-hmm.
fact, so that after you're going to be developing a particular bot, I'm going to ask you more about, I'm going to question you more, and see, basically, we are not going to just stop at that, right? Like for example,
Mm.
there are also ones in which you can there is assembly. You have kits, and when the kid reaches the last page, they realize that my job is done. Because I have reached my goal. But the
Mm.
same kid, you actually give some raw materials, and then after you've discussed the basic concepts, how to make things work, and some just one experiment, and then you
Mm.
ask them to challenge them to
Okay.
do something with this, they will really surprise you.
Hmm. Got it. So you mean to say in your kit, you give them the challenge to create something out of it instead of you just giving us like instruction slip usually comes in some toy or something like this
So
is how you have to dismantle and all that. You don't do that.
it is important to understand the science behind things. So we discuss the
Hmm.
science behind things, and I show them an experiment as to how to work with the kit.
Kit.
Okay,
Okay.
that is
Okay.
there. For example, I will show you, like in fact, because without the basics and
Yeah.
without understanding science
You
behind it,
can't
you
do it.
can't do
Yes.
anything. So
Right.
we will discuss the science behind things, and we will do one experiment also. Okay.
Okay.
But then at the end of the day, after that thing is over, let's say we created a Brussels bot. Okay.
Hmm.
And then I will challenge you, saying that this Brussels bot, we have used this thing and we created this Brussels bot. But then what if you want to make a Brussels bot which is bigger? Okay, what is the
Okay.
thing that you need to make different? Or they don't have to, in all the cases, they don't have to develop a new model, but even the thought process that, okay, if I want to make the same Brussels bot bigger, this battery is not enough.
Hmm. Got it.
So those
So
kind of things.
the shape and the appearance will be the same of the Brazil bot of all the students?
No, that is what
No.
I'm saying. They surprise me.
Again, that is different. Hmm.
That is different because see, my initial thing is I have given you the concept of a Brussels bot. I've given you a small Brussels bot.
Yes. Hmm.
We start with that, and then I tell them you surprise me.
Got it.
Okay,
So that
and
gets more interesting and challenging for them.
it
Absolutely.
is challenging for them, and in fact they go back and they actually, one of the kid actually took a pin, like the one in which we actually insert it in the paper.
Hmm.
It's not a
Okay.
staple, but the pin
Yeah,
over
I
there is
understood. Like a gundu pin, they say something, no? Which just
not
goes
not a
round.
gundu pin, the one, like the one that goes round. You actually kind of just
Got
it
it.
is
Yeah, that
actually
paper clip kind of thing.
paper
Paper
clip.
clip kind of thing. Correct. Yeah.
One of the kids actually took that out, and then
Hmm.
instead of a Russell bot, like in fact, he made a bot out of that.
Oh, great. Okay. That's the innovation which he
That
created.
is the innovation. It's like in fact,
I think there is a power cut with Soumya. I think we just need to wait for 2 minutes for her to join back. This conversation is getting very interesting. The TechBots Academy, which is doing really a wonderful job, because they are not just giving the basics, they are not telling anyone to just follow the copy paste. They are trying and giving the children an opportunity to create something of their own, something unique. And it makes them very challenging, because in copy paste, the kid doesn't come up with their own skills. It's basically like just like an homework. You just need to write these questions, answers, and all that. But I think TechBots Academy is doing a great job by creating a different innovation in their kits, and making it unique as well. The discussion was really getting very interesting. We were coming to very good more insights on how it works and all that. But I think we'll just have to wait 2 minutes for her to join us back. Let me just check. So do share in comments, what do you think about this? How do you think the technology, the AI, is going to make a difference in your life, or what difference has it got in your life till now? Share your experience as well. It's good to talk and share thoughts with each other. You never know which thought would help a person. Like, the channel which we have created is basically to inspire entrepreneurs. We don't know which story of ours would inspire the entrepreneurs. We have stories like taking from Dr. Pratna, who's creating a breast cancer awareness. We have Vandana Suri from Taxi. She's giving opportunity to ladies who can do driving, teach driving. A lot of opportunities she is providing. So there are, entrepreneurs. Okay, great. Soumya Gupta is back with us. Hi, Soumya. So
Sorry,
finally,
Nima.
you're back. No problem. It was really interesting. I was telling our viewers to stay with us live, and I was telling them that the conversation was really getting hot and very interesting and insightful. I just wanted myself to just enroll for your class and tell me that send me the kit and let me see what idea I come up with. It was a really interesting way. Actually,
That,
you have got this.
yeah, like in fact that is one thing, and then like the other is like, are they not enough AI skills to be, so to begin with it's going to be only robotics, okay, initially, but
Yeah.
then like eventually, because once I have a base of robotics, then I intend to teach children like new things, like for example the same things what they've done. Let's say we have done a robotic arm using the robotics
Mm.
thing. Same thing, I can do a voice recognition, I can control the robotic
Okay.
arm.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to be more interesting for a kid, right? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
able to
obviously.
do my own robotic arm, this one, and I will make it do all of these things and everything. But at the end of the day,
True.
we will be learning, the voice recognition. And what about like,
Yes.
I have designed a car and everything, and I'm going about doing it. But what about the roads? Whether I want to take a left or a right based on what is
Mm.
available? That is image processing.
Yes. I think when you were talking about this, the story Pinocchio was coming to my mind. Like how he created Pinocchio and how he's given life to that Pinocchio. So this is something like that. The robotic is our generation Pinocchio.
Our kids are able to think at that level when they're young. When they grow
Mm-hmm.
up, they will not come up with a fancy ice cream as a startup.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah, we really need this new innovation, and like in fact, like I told you, our graduate, the percentage at which our graduates are unemployed is starkly high, and
Mm.
that's something that is really
True.
concerning. So my journey, though it starts off like my little baby steps that I'm taking
Mm.
initially, it is starting off with the robotic classes, but eventually I want the journey to lead to AI, where we have
Great.
people who are going to come up with interesting startup, because I want to make a difference in deep tech.
Absolutely. I think you're on the right path. You're going with the right thing. So, as a woman in the tech space, what challenges have you faced and what kept you going through the tough times? I'm sure it would not been an easy journey for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think as any entrepreneur, you'll have challenges, but then, like,
Absolutely.
we definitely have different kind of challenges than men.
Yeah.
They also have their set of challenges. Our challenges are there, which are different from men, but both of us face challenges. And at least
Right.
the challenges, like that, is for me is that to balance between my personal life and the professional life, given that I have two kids, and
Okay. Great.
so yeah, running around for their activities, and then they're quite hands-on. So my children go to gymnastics and they're into competitive gymnastics. So
Okay.
taking them there, and they really love to do the outdoor activities, because I've always encouraged them to be more physically fit. So they have always explored. My son really loves cricket. My daughter loves swimming, and then
Hmm. That's
so
nice.
these things are like running. And then obviously I also have my in-laws with me, so health and everything
Mm.
always plays a role. And but nonetheless, I have good support.
Great.
My mother is a backbone. Without her, I wouldn't be able to do half the things I'm doing. She's been
Okay.
there and like rock steady, supportive. whenever I need something. And my
Okay.
husband, who always pitches in whenever I say that this is something, whenever I feel that I'm losing it, he's always there to tell me how, guide me, support me wherever,
Mm.
however I need to go ahead. My friends
Great.
circle, who always are there for me. Like, in fact, what I have realized that is, women support women.
Yes,
They encourage women, and
absolutely.
and I'm very happy to say that women encourage women. Throughout my
Yes.
journey, it's often been women who have opened doors for me, either by inviting to communities, sharing
Mm.
opportunities, or just simply cheering me to go on. We rise by lifting each other.
Yes.
So as
That's the woman power, no?
and
No
one
one
thing,
can beat the woman power.
and when I was actually in an all-time low, when I was
Mm.
doubting myself, and in fact, one of the hardest things in my journey has been that the doubt did not come from outside. I had doubts in myself, and I did not take myself it seriously. So
Yes.
especially when I was trying to step into unfamiliar spaces like hardware, robotics, and leadership and everything,
Mm.
early on, I tried to explore franchisee because I lacked confidence on my own. But then, like my friends and my family gave me the confidence to say that it's okay, you start small, and don't think about breaking even, deliver value, and
Yeah.
then you will, there will, if it works, great. If it does not work, then even better, there might be something
Yeah.
else that you need to learn and
See, at
move
least
on.
tomorrow you won't feel na that I didn't try. That
Right.
thing should not come in your mind.
Yes. So these kind of things, the friends, the right taken friends, and then and there are so many women entrepreneurs who actually really help me. Like in friends only, like one of them is actually running another gymnastics center. She agreed to put up a poster about to let other people know, and and
Mm.
then my children go to learn music as well. So there, the lady who was running it actually was very encouraging, and and gave
Mhm.
me the numbers where I can actually go ahead and contact other places where there was higher footfall.
Okay.
So
Nice.
yeah,
That's how
and
they
then
support each other. That's how. And nowadays, women entrepreneurship has become a very high talk of the society. And definitely, we are also achieving success. It's not that we are just doing it for the sake of doing it. Definitely, I see a lot of women entrepreneurs who are starting from small, and
yes,
there's a going a long way ahead is there. It's just that like has said, yeah, we need to be confident about ourselves, because sometimes we lose that. Should we do? Should we not do? We are our own enemies. No one is our enemy, and no one is our competitor.
yeah,
We are only making ourselves our own competitor by thinking that this is not going to happen, or maybe this is not the right way. But I'm very glad that you took up the decision, no matter if it was your family and friends support. But end of the day, it was you who stood and who did this all. See, not
yes,
even if I tell you now the route. Now, see, Google Map will show you the route, but you have to drive the car. You can't tell Google Map to drive the car. So I'm glad that your family and friends supported you, but at the same time, it's a really proud honor that you took up the step to drive it ahead and bring it all way long here. And it would have not been really easy. And I'm sure now that when the car is started, now there's no looking back, because you
yeah.
have all the controls now.
I have a long way to go, and I'm just taking
Yes.
baby steps. Like I told you, my journey is
Yeah.
just beginning with robotics, but my vision is to create deep tech impact, and I have like a long way to go. And I really appreciate your words, and like people like you and others who are supporting. We'll all support each other, and we'll
Yes.
I intend to go a long distance. See.
Sure. Now, Soumya, quickly, you will have to also tell us that how can parents or schools get involved with you? How do they reach you? And is it only online, or do you have offline also? Please give us little details about your academy.
See, basically, I have offline as well. I do conduct things. I have a humble start. So, like, in fact, the offline is in my, like, currently in my place, like how things are happening. But I have, like, a couple of few batches. I have 4 batches running with like each batch about few students who are coming in. But then, see, if I, like, like I told, the impact that I want to create is across India where I want to reach. Where in Bangalore, you see that every if I just go about 5 kilometers in the radius, I will find at least five centers of robotics. And if at all I go to a big apartment, there will be robotic teachers. And in fact, my
Yeah.
focus is not just robotics. My focus is eventually AI.
Yeah.
So, and that
Correct.
is the niche that I'm trying to create. But then eventually, Bangalore has exposure. My
Hmm.
thing is, I want to reach beyond Bangalore to places where this thing is not yet, this one. Because I want to reach remote places of India. Because, like I told you, I was shocked by seeing that 29% of our graduates are not getting job,
Hmm.
and I want to make an impact not in Bangalore, but outside
Pan
Bangalore
India.
also.
Yeah.
Yes,
Pan India.
pan India. And deep tech in pan India is a challenging thing. And leave competitors and all of these things, right? All of us in this space have enough and more work. Okay,
Yes.
if we want to really get things going, we have there is a population of 1.4 billion, and we have AI coming. It's already come, and it's hitting the market, and the job descriptions are changing rapidly. We have a huge demand for this. Each one of us have enough work. If we forget, even if we forget the competition, if we just look at things statistically, all of us have enough things to do if we want to make a
Right.
difference.
True.
So the
So
thing
I would
is,
suggest the parents and the schools that you can just directly get in touch with the TechBots Academy website, and I will also share Soumya. I'll share your number in the description where
thank you.
parents can reach you. And I feel yes, see, robotics, AI is everything online. So I would definitely be open that parents can connect with her with Soumya for online classes, and definitely online learning is the future again. See, even if you're in Bangalore, the traffic is so good. Thanks. So instead of traveling, it's better make your kid sit in front of the laptop, and at least he or she will be able to complete the assignment in the given time frame, because he or she will be safe from the traffic. Because nowadays kids also get too much exhausted, traveling. Schools, we can't help it now, they have to go, which we have no other option. But at least when we want our kids to learn something which is more interesting, which is really the future of today and tomorrow, so it's better to give them the opportunity to learn the skills online, explore themselves online.
I
And
don't. Sorry, just
yeah,
just sorry to cut you in, but then I
yeah,
don't
please.
think that thinking skills is limited to offline or online. I'll give you an example.
Correct.
Okay, I'll
Yeah.
give you an example. I we finished a class in which we were making a boat. Okay,
Okay.
and we tested our boat also in a water body. And as
Hmm.
usual, I gave the children talk about sustainability.
Okay.
Okay, and then I asked them how you're going
Hmm.
to enhance today's project
Hmm.
and impact sustainability. You know
Okay.
what the kids told me? And different batches had different answers, but two answers kind of stood out for me.
Hmm.
One answer is when one kid told me, "Ma'am, we've used thermocol for our boat when we made
Okay.
the boat, and then that is not
Hmm.
friendly. It's not in fact, it's not earth friendly. I would work on um, the materials that is required for the boat."
Hmm.
This thinking,
Okay.
whether you're online or
Hmm.
offline,
Offline.
this no
Yeah.
on
See.
it doesn't matter whether if your child is this kind of thinking will come. It doesn't. The online or offline is not the barrier when
Correct.
they're challenged. The other person actually told me, "Ma'am, why can't I develop something where it's going to automatically clean the pool or a water
Okay.
body? We
Hmm.
have a boat. We can do an
Yeah.
automatic cleaning. Why
Yes.
not do that?" So you see, the same kid, if at all I had given a book saying that this is the instruction, the last page they'll turn and say, "Okay, my job is done."
I've done it.
But
Correct.
then, if you challenge them by giving them the basics, they will
Yes.
surprise you. No matter whether it's online or offline, they
Offline.
will.
So I think this is the main USP of your TechBots Academy, Soumya, that you are giving only them the basics, and I really am inspired by this way you are teaching them, because it's not like a normal book. Like suppose we get any English, science, maths book, they are given sums. They are given what kind of formula you have to use, and you have to solve this. So it becomes a routine kind of thing. Okay, fine, your formula, do this, do that. You got the answer, submitted, ho gaya exam, you're passed and you're promoted to other class. It is just becoming like a daily routine. But I think at TechBots Academy, you're doing really something very different, and you're bringing the child's creative outside. Whatever the knowledge he or she has it inside, they are getting it outside through this robotic of yours, and which is really inspiring them. Abhi, once suppose they make something of this thermocol or something of this, then they'll say second time I will do this.
Yes.
Oh, they'll start getting more and more ideas.
Exactly.
So
And that is
wonderful
where,
job, I must say.
for me, like I said, what is there on your screen, that is
Yeah,
my motto. Tomorrow, our students should be able to think of startups which is not just stuck to
this
what
limits
these limits.
should be out of the box.
Should be out of the box. Yes, and minds work best out of the box.
Definitely, I definitely agree with that. And hats off to your thinking of getting not only starting this academy, because everybody is done doing that robotic, as you only said. It's become so common that everyone is having it. But I really appreciate, and I'm really inspired by the way you are doing it. And definitely want the parents to come forward and use this thing for their kids, because it's really going to benefit them, and you'll really be able to explore what is your kids creativity. Just like that, you will not know how creative your child is, or how what kind of energy your child has inside. But I think TechBots Academy is helping the kid to get out the inside of the real him or her.
Thank you so much for your
So
kind words.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really interesting. And I just couldn't stop myself, because I was more inspired and more, getting deep into this conversation to know more and more. It was really insightful. It was really like, fascinating that how this really works. Very interesting and wonderful to have you on my channel.
Thank you so much, Sarah. Thanks for the opportunity again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I'll leave your contact details in the description for our viewers who can contact you. You have a wonderful journey, and I'm sure we are going to see you on a very, very long run and a successful way. Thank you so much, Soumya, for joining us. Thank
Thank you,
you.
sir.
So, thank you so much for watching us. And it was really inspiring journey with TechBots Academy. So, it's her mission to empower young minds with the tech skills. So it's not only timely but truly impactful. She's put on a lot of good insights. AI is not the future, is the future. Absolutely right. We cannot say that AI is going to be the future. AI has already come in our life. Chat GPT is there. Chat GPT has so many options in the explore future. You cannot, you just think and it's there. Taking from your Canva, taking from your presentations, taking from your Excel sheets, you name it, and AI is there for us. So I would just tell to my viewers that if you're looking to spark the curiosity and creativity in your child, be sure to check out TechBots Academy. Get in touch with Soumya Gupta. I'll be sharing her details in the description. And if you want to be on my channel, want to share your inspiring story, please do contact me. I'll be sharing my contact details as well. And please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep learning. Don't forget to join me on Saturday, 12 o'clock, with a new guest, with a new story. I'll see you. Thank you so much. Until then, take care, stay safe.